Hi. Oh, and we're live. Okay, it took definitely a hot minute there for me to get live there and just some technical opportunities. I'll just share that. Okay, so I'm going live today to talk about Mount Shasta. And if you are new to me and who I am, and you are just finding this, like, what is she talking about? My name is Jenna, and I'm a practitioner that helps people remember who they are. So I do that in a couple different ways. And I host one-on-one sessions and I help people remember who they are by, what's in their way, what's in the unconscious mind, what's in the subconscious, what experiences have we had that have told us that we are this one thing. And this is who we are. And so peeling back all of those so we can, quite frankly, remember who we are, divine beings of love and perfection. So I am going live to talk about Mount Shasta because not only do I hold space 101, I do host spaces for retreats. And so I want to share with you more about Mount Shasta. And so Mount Shasta has a very, 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 very special space in my heart. So I can share that with you. And if you stick around, through a little bit of this, there'll be just a mini activation there. So looking forward to that. Okay. So my journey with Mount Shasta is just very, I feel like it's not ordinary, but I feel like a lot of people's experience with Mount Shasta is not ordinary. And if you're not familiar, Mount Shasta is about 4 hours, I believe 4 hours north of the Bay Area. And so don't quote me on the exact distance there, but Mount Shasta is a very sacred space, and the entire mountain is sacred. And people say that it is the root chakra of the earth. And I believe that whatever you want to believe, that's your truth. And so for me, I resonate with that. And what I also resonate with is that not only the root chakra of the earth, but what is the root chakra of the earth? The root chakra is connected to safety and security. It's connected to those areas, home, job, all these things. Well, let me tell you my experience with going to Mount Shasta was around the time where I actually had my job was eliminated. My corporate job was eliminated, and I was in between where I knew that I was supposed to be doing my business full time. And so I was giving sessions, I was guiding people, and I was at a point where I was working like 60 hours a week plus. I was working 10 days in a row. So basically what happened was the universe ended my job and they gave me a certain amount of time to find a new job. And so that was beautiful, and I knew that I would be doing this. So I decided to go to Mount Shasta. So I didn't really have a plan. I definitely went there with a loose plan. And so Mount Shasta is very special because it can really help guide you into the presence of all the things that you didn't know was there. The fact that, I had this corporate job and I was making over six figures. I was making over six figures for, however long, almost a decade, and very successful. And there was this illusion that that job was secure. That is what Mount Shasta taught me, because I definitely went kicking and screaming. I knew that I was supposed to be doing my business full time, and I felt so guided and loved by the universe, and I was taken care of by the universe. But at the same time, it was scary as fuck. It was scary to just be like, I don't know. This is what's paying my bills, universe. Can I really do this? And so the truth is, what Mount Shasta showed me while I went to visit about a month later was, by the way, that secure job that, pays your bills, you just fucking lost it. Your job was eliminated. So the secure, if you see the quotes there, the secure job is an illusion. So, really, Mount Shasta taught me that the secure and the safetiness comes from within. So it definitely very much mirrored that root chakra vibe. And so, let's just say within a 6-month period of my first visit to Mount Shasta, all of these illusions in the material world came up to the surface for me to review. So my job, my long-term partnership, my living situation, which I was cohabitating with them at the time, and all of these things came up to be reviewed. Even, at the time there was a decision to move into separation and move out. And I reviewed all my items. I had this garage sale, but then it was just a switch of I'm going to do this. And I packed up all the stuff in my car that would fit and I went to move. So all of these material items that kept me safe and secure either exited my life by my choice or universe's choice, which is, I think, I also believe it's my choice. So that's my experience with Mount Shasta. I really had a huge come to Jesus moment. I was on the mountain and I was shouting, just this energy. And at that time, I didn't know when you go that you could face snow if you go too early. And so a lot of the areas that I wanted to go to were blocked off by the snow. And so I ended up where I climbed on the snow to get to some of the sacred sites that I wanted to get to. And I remember I was sitting on this very big rock, and it was like a double rock. And I was just shouting out and crying, and grief was just moving through me. And it was such a beautiful space to be held by the mountain, to start to become attuned to the wisdom of the land and connect to Mother Gaia and Earth and just feel that move through me. So I really invite you, hi there, talking about Mount Shasta here. So I really invite you to, if you're considering Mount Shasta, whether you go with me or you go on your own or you go with someone else, to really have an intention on when you go and to really allow it to unfold magically, to allow it to just unfold magically there. Because you never know what you're going to get, and you never know what information you're going to see as we go through things. We sometimes just see it one-sided. And so when you go in a space with the facilitator, so if you were to come on this retreat, and if you're just joining, as I see some people coming in and now, I'm hosting a retreat end of July in Mount Shasta. So when you come with me, you not only get to just experience the mountain, there is a container and a space that people hold. And I believe the vibration of the people that are coming together for this trip are all connected in some way. So we will be able to move and weave through the journey with magic. And so as a space holder, right, because everyone is the healer here. Everyone is the decision holder of, do I take this with me or let it go? And as being tuned into the energy field of both Mount Shasta and the group and the individuals who are coming on this journey to Mount Shasta with me, the space and the container is as open as you want it to be, and all will be revealed. So you may have points where you feel like you're integrating grief or loss of things, and this is the perfect opportunity to come and release and see a different perspective. And so that is my journey with Mount Shasta. I don't know who here is, changes your life. I was just going to ask who here has been to Mount Shasta. So I know that we have one person here that has been to Mount Shasta. So yay, changes my life. Drop the mic. That's it. Like, I feel like that's just the advertising there. It's like it does change your life for the better, and each time it does feel like cosmic alignment. Yeah, and I have a few people signed up for this trip already, and I know that it's going to be amazing. And I know that, some people, if you don't know what it's like to work with me, um, I help hold up a mirror to what's going on in your life so that you could actually see your power. So, the name of this retreat I called Return to Source. And Source to me is universe and higher self and all that is. And so, my journey has evolved. My business has evolved. If you're not familiar with it, my business has really evolved into the power of our true self, which has always been there. But instead of kind of going through a galactic lineage or going through, interdimensional beings or angelics, I've really started to connect with the universe. I had an out of body experience and I really started to connect in with the universe in a much profound way. And so I'm really excited about this journey here. Um, do I know Paul of Venus? I don't. I don't know at the moment. I don't know at the moment. So, yeah, that's a good question. So feel free to let me know who they are or send me a chat after. So Mount Shasta is, they say, you go here and you heal X times faster because there are all these vortices, or it's one big one, which is just a comprised energetic composition of just pure magic energy, just buzzing at all the tips. And so I have found that sometimes when I've gone here that I've had trouble sometimes eating when I went. So something to consider. But the vision behind this retreat, I want to let you guys know my vision is all about coming into oneness and love. And I know I don't know if that sounds kumbaya, but this retreat is not just one day. It is over several days. And what happens is when we step into a place where we only have ourselves and the people around us, but that space to finally move through things or finally sit with discomfort and see what's holding us back, we start to solve our own problems. And so the vision behind this retreat is, not only is it going up to the mountain, because that's really easy to do, guiding us there, having, there's transmissions that are going to come through, but there's also integration, which is so important in this work, and integration circles that really allow us to everyone to move through what's happening in their nervous system. I do a lot of work with the nervous system, and what I love to say is we can rewire our nervous system, and it takes time, but allowing yourselves to feel uncomfortable, allowing yourselves to support ourselves and create new experiences. So if we're really sitting with something uncomfortable, we can tell our body the truth, which is that we are safe and that we are whole and that we are divine and we are here and present. A lot of my work revolves around helping guide people back into the present moment. We're living in the body from the past, we're worrying about that in the past, we're worrying about that in the future. And so not only are we sitting with transmission with the mountain, which that comes through via light language, that comes through via frequency of channeling of words or whatever may come through, and we have that space to hold. So we have meditation on the mountain every day, transmission, and then I want to allow people time to go to the spaces that they are called to go through on the mountain. Then every day we'll also have some sort of, I want to call, ceremony. So there's an Airbnb which is included in the price, and you can check out all the information on my website, and I'll pull that up. But you there's either cacao ceremony, there's either sound journey, there's presence through more transmission. So, multiple ways of allowing us to move through this in a sacred space outside of the mountain so that we can start to, yes, attune to the mountain, but be able to understand how to hold that frequency outside of such a powerful space. So that is really a huge vision of what I have there. And then I see that he has spiritual tours that take you to the vortices. He's incredible. Yeah, send me his info. I have places in mind that I have gone to. So, I hope you can make it. Sounds like a beautiful retreat. Yes, love, love, love. There's plenty of time to sign up. There's plenty of space, and this is an intimate gathering. I'm taking no more than 8, and even if that turned out to be 4, I have a few people signed up. If that turns out to be 6 or 7, it is going to be so divinely perfect. It does not. The number doesn't matter. It is the people that make it, and I have places in mind. And I say that there's a plan. If you see the quotes, there's a plan on where we are going. As we know, there are always plans on where we want to go, and the universe has another plan for us. So it's really about the vibration of the people that are going in it and that are attending. And so this really allows us to drop into intuition, to the flow of the universe. And so there may be like, we plan to go to Panther Meadows one day, but then we go to Ascension Rock. So I have the spaces that I have gone to, and all of that we're doing during the day. So it's lots of fun there, and lots of time for whatever you're looking to unfold there. So I'll just kind of see. I don't know if anyone has any questions here on what I do. I know people are popping in and out, and feel free if you're watching this later, feel free to pop a question in the chat, or you can email me. You can email me info@myawakeningwithin.com. That goes straight to me, and I'll be able to get back to you. So, what is it like to work with me? So some of you do know what it's like to work with me, and a lot of you don't. And so I really, the way that I share if I was to say what I do, I guide people to finding their truth. Now, sometimes we're in our way, right? And so sometimes that side support that comes in, you're like, I didn't see that layer. Whoa. And so I'm a psychic. I tune into the energy field. I've done a lot of my own inner work. And I believe the more work that we do, we can help see the truth of the experience unfolding. And what I mean by that is, for example, say if someone is experiencing, you know, um, a toxic relationship, and they're not sure on how to move forward. Now, I'm not someone to say yes or no. If you come to me or you experience sessions with me, I don't say yes or no. Everything is free will, and I'm all about empowerment and guiding you to your truth. Now, it's all about what's in the way of that. And so I guide people into those spaces. And say if I was in my own, which happens, we're practitioners, we're on the journey. If I was in, some sort of imbalanced, toxic relationship, and guiding people outside, or to be able to see the truth or clarity on their own when, the practitioner is still playing out those same loops, is only really perpetuating someone else's experience. It continues their cycle because one cannot see it themselves. So I have done a lot of work. I trained for several years, hundreds of hours under that training, and working with hundreds of clients in all different areas. But then I started to learn the difference between doing the work and seeing for people and embodying that truth. And that's where a lot of my work has really shifted. And so a lot of my work has really shifted because I noticed that it's not only what do I know? I know where this pattern came from. It comes up in the sessions. I know where this comes from. I know the experience is great. We can actually intellectually bypass the the feeling, the experience or emotions in our body by intellectualizing what is going on. So, what's different in my work and how it's evolved is because we know the experiences that created these false beliefs. Now we actually even know, 'cause through reading the energy, how to create new experiences that align up with truth, that allow us to feel a resonance of this truth within our body. And that is embodiment. It is lived experience. It's not only knowing that I am safe, it is living that experience and creating new experiences along the way that actually tell us something different. And there is science to this, guys. We create neural pathways with each new experience. And so if we are knowing that we are safe and we are understanding the safety, what experience is telling me that that is true? So if I've only had toxic relationships and unhealthy relationships and chaos, and then someone comes along and what do we usually do? A lot of times we can self-sabotage because we don't feel that truth in our body. So this is the difference in the sessions that I do is now they've evolved to really help people understand how we can create new experiences, and it is up for you to walk outside of those experiences to really embody that and actually move in that lived experience. So we are rewiring our nervous system, and in this retreat it is going to call us to rewire our nervous system real time, and that will unfold as the retreat goes there. um I see your comment there. Is anyone from San Diego attending? There's someone who's we have two people in Northern California, so a couple hours north there. So I can chat with you after, but there, Gabriella. So let me know. I'm gonna stop here, see if you guys have any questions, and I am gonna do a mini transmission here. I'm feeling the energy come through, but I want to just go over a little bit more about the actual like logistics as I take a sip of my water here. So that's what it's like to work with me. I help guide people into the remembrance. There will be transmissions. These are not one-on-one sessions. So just so you know, this is a group experience, but that's the space I hold. I hold the space in the container that is moving and weaving with compassion and love. And and if you have worked with me, you'll you know where my energy field is at, and if you haven't, just feel into what you feel in this transmission. I call this a transmission in itself, even though I have another one that's more connected to light language. But the frequency of just the now and love and compassion, this is what it's like to work with me. I held space, and there's a big message coming through, so whoever needs to hear this is compassion is such a key ingredient to what I have learned in my work, because a lot of times we'll be in survival and people will get really down on themselves for repeating a pattern and for going back to the same kinds of relationships or whatever it may be. And so when we I've noticed that hitting survival with a hammer, like, oh fuck, I did it again, does not create a conducive environment to transform. Like if you think about, I can speak for me, or if you think about when you were younger, and if you had that one person in mind, maybe that if you did something wrong, you got yelled at, or like something, and you got yelled at. So imagine you're perpetuating that same cycle here, guys, by yelling at yourself. And so it's not a conducive environment for change and transformation. So keep that in mind. For some reason, compassion was coming through, and this is the frequency and space that I hold in the retreats. I am not someone who is going to blame you and this and that. We are creators of our environment, but there's also a space to be held to understand that we are loving ourselves exactly where we are. And when we meet ourselves with kindness and compassion, our body softens. And when our body softens, we actually can move out of survival, and our nervous system, which is in a fight or flight experience, and we can breathe. So a lot of people feel like through workshops or other experiences with me in groups, feel that frequency moving through. So that is what it's like to work with me. And also, I am not going to toot my own horn, but I am also fun. I love to hold a space for what needs to flow in. And a lot of times I giggle and I laugh and I have fun. And that helps us shift out so we can actually gain clarity. What I find is a lot of times people just ruminate in old ways of being, and that is important for awareness, but we don't need to stay there, guys. We don't need to stay there. So the types of containers that I hold allows for that energy to just move up so that we can come back to the present moment to feel what we need to feel right now so that we can actually see the truth. Right? See the truth, be the truth, emanate the truth from within ourselves. So keep that in mind. That's what it's like to work with me. I kind of like to laugh, but I do, whatever needs to move and flow through, I honor and I respect and I see all of that. So the retreat is designed for, I will say, people who have done some shadow work before, meaning you have some tools and understanding, awareness, you have some clarity and understanding some of the things that you've gone through and you've sat with it. Now, I say that is because it, anyone can show up. Anyone absolutely can show up. But if you don't have the tools to integrate all that comes up, you can walk away from anything from a session, you can walk away from a retreat, and you can do the same thing over and over, and you can go back and revert a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. So I am sharing that because Mount Shasta brings up so much, and just being in a space for several days where you are like, I'm ready to change, bring it, right? I'm ready. So if you are unsure, I do have clarity calls, so you can book a discovery call, and that's on my website under services. So you go to myawakeningwithin.com, and then you go to services, and so you'll see an opportunity to book a discovery call, which is free 15 minutes. If you're unsure, let's talk it out. And then if you do feel like you have some tools, but maybe feel like there's more opportunity, even if you feel like you have no tools to integrate, if you never integrated before, if you don't know what that means, we can do a one-on-one session before, and there's no harm in that. And we can also book an opportunity for integration after. So I have like a package or packages where people can book, where you're actually doing a session while we're there in Mount Shasta. So there might be a 1 hour session where we look at opportunities to help you integrate what's coming up for you. And so I don't have that available for a carte blanche for everyone, just so I have enough time for people when they are there, and then I have time for my own cup to fill up for everyone else. And then I also am offering after retreat integration calls as well. So I have that on my website. So you go to my website there, myawakeningwithin.com, and under events, you will see Mount Shasta, and you'll see all of that clarity there. So you'll be able to see what it would be for integration and kind of all that as part of the just an additional package there. So, like I said, designed for people who you have some knowledge of integration. You have some shadow work behind you, but it's available. We have time to work out before as well. So, travel accommodations and retreat logistics. So much fun. This is like the juicy stuff of everything. So the retreat is July 27th to August 1st. Now, the retreat starts July 8th in the morning, but the accommodations are start the 27th. So you could check in and book into your space on the 27th. So I recommend everyone comes in the evening where they arrive. So this way there's no interruption of starting early in the morning on July 28th. So as you can see, that's several days there, and the accommodations are included with the price. So you'll see all of that is on the website there. So the accommodations are included. The price is per person. We do have a couple different options there. We do have a double bed, a queen bed, and a king bed there as well. And so, let's see what else. Just to share what is not included. So, your round trip and airfare is not included. Meals are not included. I really went back and forth with this, guys. The reason why I decided to not include food is because I've noticed myself and others sometimes don't get really hungry for a bit of the time while up there. And I am not just going to be the one to waste food. So there are grocery stores up there. There's grocery stores that are right near the Airbnb. Now, the accommodations are an Airbnb, B&B. I'm like, my words are very wording right now. And so it's a big 3-unit Airbnb. And but everyone who comes, you receive your own bedroom. You're paying for your own bedroom there. So we do have that there. And let me see if there's anything else there. So it's a 3-unit large Airbnb space. And yeah, what else is not there's an airport that is about 90 minutes or an hour drive from there too as well, but driving, and those such is not included in the retreat. But your sleep, your overnight sleep, and the space and the retreat and the facilitation, all of that is included there. So let me see if anyone's got any questions. All right. I'm just looking here. Okay. I don't see any questions there, but you can always reach out. So you have my website there. You can always reach out. Again, info@myawakeningwithin.com. And the retreat's going to be fun, and I'm just not tooting it my own horn, but it's fun, but it's work. It's not vacation. The retreat's not vacation. It is a space to really hold for yourself with whatever intentions that you have. And if you are unsure of what intentions that you're looking to bring in, we can talk about that. We can talk about that and have better clarity for you. So okay, so is Mount Shasta calling you? Come on, let's have fun in Mount Shasta, end of July. And I don't see any questions, but I'm gonna dive into a brief transmission here, unless someone has something else, but a brief transmission so that you can feel the energy flow through. And actually, it's funny enough because I feel Mount Shasta, she's coming through in this transmission here. So that will be fun. All right. And if you're watching this later, get in a relaxed space. If you're here now, just feel into your body and relax those eyes as we settle into this transmission of love. And if you're not familiar with light language sounds like another language. And it's just the frequency of love moving through and emanating out. So feel free to relax those eyes if you haven't already. Letting yourself be fully in your body, breathing in and breathing out. Allowing yourself to just flow. Allowing yourself to just be, see and witness yourself exactly where you are. Grounding and anchoring in, breathing into the heart space. Breathing out, softening the body, softening the body. Allowing yourself to be present with what is. Seeing yourself in a container, flow in. This container is emanating the essence of you and all that you are, allowing this container to be seen and witnessed. And allowing yourself to just be in a free will of, if you receive, send a telepathic yes out now. And at your pace, understanding the flow of the energy moving in between the container, inside the container and outside of the container, flowing effortlessly. And at your pace, inviting in the energy into that container, flowing into your heart space, allowing that to just permeate throughout your entire body, allowing that frequency of love, golden frequency, just move up the neck and the head, moving back down the neck, the chest, and the legs down into the ground, grounding you and anchoring you in, allowing yourself to just be focusing on that root chakra, anchoring you in the space of safety and security, anchoring that and activating all that you are, witnessing and receiving all that you are, being with all that you are. Ishete wale ka we shete le wake akao sitete te wale shuke wala ka usieta laukuya kata kwa yashita wala ka, opening up a space with Mount Shasta as she moves into this energy field, as she just is, as she just emanates with the earth, with Mother Gaia as she is. Merge with Mother Gaia, merge with the field of oneness, merge into the space within now, into the space, and allow yourself to just receive whatever presence you surrender to in this moment, allowing yourself to just be. Grounding in, anchoring in, being. You are love. Recognizing that lower belly, that sacral chakra, that connection into your emotions, the connection into your sexual energy, your creative energy, and allowing that to just be seen and witnessed, and acknowledge what sensations you may be moving through within your body, and asking your body, how do you feel right now? Just pausing and breathing into that space, breathing in and breathing out. Letting your energy and your awareness move up to your stomach, your solar plexus, space of power, emanating a space to be truly seen right now, receiving yourself fully as is, exactly as you are, letting it be. Asking your body, what is it that you need right now? What is it that you need? And listening, acknowledging the sensations where you are, breathing into your stomach, breathing out. Moving up to the awareness of your heart. Moving up to the awareness of your heart. Space of compassion. Recognizing the full field and love and compassion of Mount Shasta right here, right now. We don't need to go anywhere. Tuning into the sensations of your body, tuning in. What is it that you feel? And sitting with that. Asking, do you feel uncomfortable receiving? Allowing that energy to just move through your body, moving your awareness up to your throat, a space of expression of who you are, connected to that heart space, connected to your soul, connected to all that is, to the divine will of you. Notice if you feel uncomfortable. Notice if you feel any sensations. Body, what does it need right now? Maybe it's to be witnessed in your expression. So witness it right now. Breathing into that space. Moving up, up. Breathing out. Noticing the sensations in your body. Moving up to that third eye, that forehead area, a place of seeing and perceiving. This is how you see the world. How you see yourself. It's how you see the fields of energy around you. And ask yourself, how are you feeling right now? What is it? What is it about this moment? Breathing into that space and breathing out. Breathing in again, holding your breath at the top, letting that go, putting your awareness to your crown chakra, typically at the top of your head. It could be above your head. It could be way above your head, as high up as you feel that it rests. Call an awareness to that, your connection to all that is. And trusting in your divinity, trusting in your connection to consciousness and all that is. And Mount Shasta is grounding in an attunement here. Anchoring in to your energy bodies. Letting it be. Breathing into this space. Breathing in. Up through that crown chakra, up through the soul chakra, up to all that is. Breathing out. Allowing yourself to just be feeling the sensations of your body as you're here in the now, witnessing your body, witnessing your space, claiming space, calling in the remembrance of you. And just start to bring awareness to your body even more. And bring awareness to your hands as you may move your hands. Start to wiggle your feet. Stretch those arms, starting to come back into the space, come back into the now. Come back. And at your pace there, at your pace, open up those eyes. And only at your pace. If you don't feel like coming back yet, keep those eyes rested. Let it just be. Let it just be. How are we feeling? Gosh, that was pretty amazing for me. Oh, man, I feel Mount Shasta, so because, and actually the message coming through is a reminder of our power and that we can connect into any spaces and fields within energy that we want. So it's easier for me probably because I've been to Mount Shasta, but whatever attunements have been coming through, and if you've never been there, whatever you received is for you. But it's in the power of our belief. Whatever we believe, that is our reality. And so, you could tune back in. You don't have to come to this retreat. I will not be offended. And you take this energy and this information and you tune back into Mount Shasta whenever you want because she is there. This is not a gatekeeping space. This is not, a space of only I can do it. This is a power of remembrance. So, okay. How are we doing there? Okay, I feel a little I need to go grab something to eat. Okay, but hopefully that all that makes sense. A reminder here, guys. I have this beautiful retreat end of July, moving into August 1st morning of, and this is if you are looking for time for yourself and you're like, I don't know where to go or who to go with or anything, but you're just feeling called for a pathway inwards. And only you can really sit with yourself and be in. But if you're looking for guidance, this is a group facilitation, but it is something where you will not be alone. So you can join in the retreat. You can hit that follow up there on a discovery call. Check out my website, myawakeningwithin.com. This is an intimate gathering. This is not something where it's, dozens of people on the retreat. I have my own boundaries on my own energetic space. And though I am an infinite flowing divine being of light, I I listen to my guidance, and my guidance is this is an intimate gathering. This is a space where I also am honoring my boundaries. And so, by me honoring my boundaries and my connection, I also help guide people into the remembrance of how to do that themselves. So, feel free to go to my website, myawakeningwithin.com. You're going to see there if I'm fast enough, I'll be able to pull up, but you'll be able to see the Mount Shasta retreat. So if you go to events and retreats on the website, you'll be able to tune into that divine space so you learn more. And if you just came in the end there, then you can always rewatch this there. And I'm just pulling this up there so you can scan the QR code for the Mount Shasta retreat there. So that QR code will go directly to the retreat on my website so you can get more info about it, get all the good stuff there, figure out if this is for you, and you'll see on that page as well clarity call. So click that clarity call if you're not sure. It is an investment, but it's also an investment in you and um in whatever feels good for you. So check it out. Again, this is my website here. So I put on both there, myawakeningwithin.com, both QR codes. I'm going to actually pop it up here, myawakeningwithin.com. So such a pleasure as always. And if any questions, info at myawakeningwithin.com. All right.